Welcome back to another game on Arabia. In the green we have our Mr. Abe playing as the mines in the colour green, and in the blue we have TheSignOfWolF playing in the blue as the Aztecs. And I saw this game and thought straight away that we are going to have a look at it, because I thought it was quite interesting. So if we come down here we can see him scouting around, actually scouting out quite quickly, and getting a ball steal pretty quickly. So whether or not he's going to get that all the way back will be interesting. So while that's coming back, let's just check out the resources quickly for Abe. Over here we can see he's got the gold at the back, he's got berries towards the back as well. Both of his woods are forward, but they're not exactly bad woods. If we have a look here, he could put a lumber camp anywhere around here, and it's going to be quite hard to hit it from the back. A tower could still do a bit of damage, but it's really going to be quite good. Can wall off this area quite well. So it's up to him what he decides to do here, and it looks like this is going to be quite a successful boar lure, coming in at 2 minutes and 30 seconds-ish. So that's an extremely good job by Abe there. His major resources as well, they are pretty well done, they're not too scattered actually. Another gold in here towards the back. Only bad thing with stealing your opponent's boar is that, well, you don't have all your sheep yet. Like we can see, there's just 2 sheep over here hanging out. Any more? No, doesn't look like it. A few of the relics in his area as well. So if we come and check down TheSignOfWolf over here, he's got his boar up here, of course, one that was stolen as well. Gold's towards the back, so that's kind of nice. Over here we have the berry bushes towards the back as well. And the wood's not in the worst location either, especially this one behind here. It is still a bit of a journey from the town centre though. So that's always an interesting one there. And if we look over here, we can see that Abe is actually stealing a second ball here. So we're going to speed it up and run it back. And if he gets this, is a pretty good effort. Double ball steals are really hard to do actually. So he's definitely put in quite a good effort here. And this one should be... It doesn't really matter actually, because it's not his boar. At this point, he's taking them from his opponent and using them for himself. So it doesn't particularly matter if it runs out, because he's got 2 more he can use. And that's a really interesting strategy right there. And it looks like he's actually about to lure another one of his boars out now. So he kind of just wanted to get rid of him over his opponent. And it always hurts, because you have to think really quickly on your feet when you get your boar stolen. You have to think about, alright, what am I going to do? I'm going to need more farms, therefore I'll need more lumberjacks. I'll need probably a few more berries, so I'll need to send some over there. And just thinking of all those extra ways you're going to have to use to get this extra 500 food to get up to the feudal age. So that's an interesting one there. So now that we've seen 3 boars come into this town centre, I suppose we may as well check out what Wolf has around his area. He's got his stone up here, other gold over here, deer patch towards the front, this section here as well. We've already touched on the gold and berry placement, another gold over here, not exactly the best placement. Hill at the front here, which can be really bad for defending, but this side over here is kind of okay as well, unless some units do try and come down here to get through. What did we see over here? Villager getting attacked by the wolf. Looks like he was actually... he's going for a full wall off by the looks of it, actually. So that's an interesting one from Abe. Currently on 18 population compared to Wolf. Still on 18, so it's still keeping up. But that feudal time is going to be really late if he hasn't prepared for this. He has actually had to go hunt deer, which is not one of the best situations in the world. Looks like we are seeing the full wall off go down for Abe, though this wolf over here might be enough to kill off this villager now if he gets too close. So he's going to have to be careful about that one. Might want to swap out the villagers, which he's using. What's he doing here? It looks like he's going for the gold, and he's got 4 boar around his town centre. And look at the amount of sheep he still has left over. This has been a pretty good job from him, honestly. Going to have a lot of food there to use. Shame he's not Huns, because otherwise he could have just gone straight for scouts. That could have worked out quite well. And if we check the scores, actually, we can see that Abe's actually quite behind in the scores right now. But he's not advancing either, actually. He's on 22 pop. I'm looking at the right person. 22 pop, Abe. And I think it's just because he hasn't been unloading his villagers. Interesting, but still, he's only at 740 in, so he still has plenty of time to get a good feudal time. And he's even getting more villagers out as well. Pretty confident with this one, actually. Walling off for Wolf, gonna be... I don't think it'll be too bad if he drops a bit of palisade there, across here, and probably across here as well, and maybe across here, but he could go across here as well, depending on where he decides to wall. He could wall off quite easily, but I don't think it's going to really be an option for him, because he just has too many resources outside of his main area. is mining gold over here. Abe's still not advancing. Wolf not advancing. Currently at 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, so we should be getting close right about now. But we do see Wolf on 23 pop compared to Abe on 26 pop right now. And Abe's still gathering from all these boars he's got around his town center right now. So this has been quite an interesting start, something that we don't usually see. The double boar steal there into lots of boar meat, into sheep. So he's doing quite well actually. And the drosh from Abe as well here. We did see that villager over here actually gathering some gold. Where was it? There we go, 789 there. So now this drosh is going to be a lot more effective as well, because he's forced his opponent not to gather boars, so he's had to put up more farms, which means more lumberjacks, which means more lumberjacks to harass, which is very, very good. Picking off a villager there, that's always a good sign. Saying this as well, both players do have loom, yes they do, and the full wall off still going down by Mr. Abe. So it's going to be quite an interesting play here. It's going to be interesting to see how Wolf decides to defend this and how long he actually lasts against his opponent right now. Abe can be going up right now. He's currently on 30 population and he could be going up, but choosing not to, so he must be going for more villagers right now. Yes, he is. He is really relying on the fact that his opponent's going to have a really, really late feudal time. And if we say 1030 is about average, he's going to be really behind in that. So this might pay off for Abe actually here. And the score difference is a bit high here, but I can explain that quite easily. Wolf has farms up, and if we look over here, there's only one farm up for Abe. And if we check the exploration for Wolf, it's quite good. Abe, not so good. So really all of it's coming here is from just those extra bits of farms he has, and the fact that he's got so much more exploration, which really helps in the early game. So that's one of the reasons it's so hard to tell how far behind you are in the early game actually, because the exploration counts so much. You can think you're really far behind and getting into a bit of trouble, but honestly, there's not much to it. You could be ahead in eco, and your opponent's just done a really good line of scouting. Barracks only just coming up for Mr. Wolf, and he should just be about to hit feudal age actually. And actually saying that, we are on 11 minutes 17 in, and Abe still isn't going to feudal age. He's on 33 population, and he definitely has the resources there to do it. He's just continuing to make villages right now, and he's really relying on the fact this drosh is going to hold his opponent back so long, and that double boar steal, that is not going to be harassed too badly. He doesn't have... Well, I guess Wolf doesn't exactly have the way you can get scouts out and run in and harass straight away. It's going to have to be some kind of archer push, and it's really not going to be a fast castle at this stage. He does have gold miners though, so it could either be that, or we could see some archers coming out. But if we look at Wolf, he just does not have the amount of, well, gold and food and everything he needs to be able to do it. He won't even be able to get an archery range and a blacksmith up. He's only got the single archery range coming out now. A bit of extra exploration going on by Abe right now, and it looks like he's just going up as well. There we go. So he's going to be able to get up just in time, I think, to really be able to counter his opponent's units, because that archery should come up quite soon, and it looks like they're not going to be able to make their way across the map in time. However, Abe's still needing to wall in this side over here. Could end up in quite a bit of trouble if he doesn't complete this wall off, especially if the archers get out nice and quickly before he has a chance to actually counter them. So that could work really, really well or really, really badly, depending. Getting some extra scouting information with this militia here. Now knows that his opponent's going for archers. That's a good sign. It's always nice to know what your opponent's doing. But as Aztecs, you don't really have a lot of choice in what you're doing. It's going to really be fast castle, which is never really done. Unless it's off the back of a really successful drosh, which in case it's done a lot. But archers is really your only option, because some people... you don't really see men-at-arms get used, so that's not really an option, but a large skirmisher or archer mix is really what we do see. Archers are moving out across the map, but it looks like this wall is going to be done just in time. Mr. A putting up an archer range here with 2 villagers. What's his plan now? Is he going to go for the fast, well, advance up? He's putting up a blacksmith as well, so he could actually choose to do that and try and get some crossbows out nice and quickly. Could even go for some kind of a clue, which we still don't see a lot of anymore, but... it can be effective. It's really their effective night treatment against archers, essentially. But no, another archer range going up, a blacksmith going up, skirmishers are being produced. He could almost just about start producing archers and advance to castle at the same time, honestly. He's doing quite well on his economy, actually, which is something his opponent's just really not going to be able to break now, because he's fully walling himself in here with these villagers. and he might actually want to finish some of this, because I wouldn't be surprised if he actually breaks through a bit of this palisade over here if he goes to check it. But still, Wolf really ahead right now, but there we go. We have Abe actually fast castling here, so he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage if he gets up there, and Wolf isn't. If we look at Wolf, not advancing yet, still needs a fair bit of food and a little bit of gold to get up there, but it's still going to be time that his opponent's going to have on him in Castle Age, and with these double archery producing, and I'm assuming he's going to get his blacksmith upgrades nice and quickly, whereas Wolf doesn't even have a blacksmith up yet that I know of. Wolf do? No smith. No smith at all. Looks like, though, did get in over here, which I was warning him about. They did kill off a piece of his wall or palisade over here, and it looks like this villager might just die. Yes, killing that one off there, but he is going to get that eagle eventually, and that skirmisher coming up here to deal with this archer, hopefully, while these villagers end up fixing up the rest of the wall. More archers moving around, but hopefully this skirmisher here by himself will be microed efficiently enough to be able to take these guys out, but still this wall's still on quite low hit points, so it could be a bit damaging. Archer's still coming out from Wolf right now, so we could be just falling further and further behind here. Is going out with the blacksmith, but by now we should see Abe just about in Castle Age. And he's going to be planning to do some damage in that, unless he wants to try and fast imp, which generally isn't a given strategy. Hasn't gone for any stone either, which is interesting playing as the mines. It means he really is not trying to get plumed archers out. So if we look over here, yes, crossbows on the way. There we go, that's his plan. Crossbows and tech, by the looks of it. Bodkin on the way as well. His economy is looking absolutely great right now. Actually already has a tower up here for defense, a very smart placement, because of course it means he's not going to be towered in his wood area, and when your opponent walls, you can always tower them in, which is really annoying, especially on their wood. It is actually a good way to deal with someone who's walling themselves in. If you can say, if they've got like a gold mine here, whack a tower up over there. If they're cutting wood here, drop a tower over here. Just delay all their resource time you can. Because really, if you're walling in, you're generally going for some kind of a fast castle or a big kind of boom kind of thing off that. It really comes down to what you personally like to do. But still, that's generally a good way to look at it, and that's one of the things, when your opponent walls themselves in, you need to hope you have good scouting information so you can tell what they're doing. If they're going for a big night push, or if they're going for a full boom, because if you prepare for the wrong one, you can be in a lot of trouble. Over here, it looks like going to get some villagers picked off here. It's going to get one. No, hasn't got one yet. Might get two, if he gets this one quick enough. Getting two villagers there, quite good. He actually has the armor upgrade on them already, and the +2 attack, which is absolutely great for the crossbows. Really starting to get that tech advantage. His opponent only on +1 range and armor, so he's going to be able to take this out quite quickly over here, especially if he micros well enough. There is a tower up on this hill though. These archers over here are in mass and are on the hill as well, so they should be able to do quite a little bit of defending here, and it shouldn't be too much trouble. But still, this tower over here could potentially lose a villager or two. Losing one crossbow there in this engagement here, and definitely going to get out of there, because you know how that's going to end no matter how good your tech is. More crossbows are moving across here. It didn't look like that archer actually saw them, so he could lose quite a few miners over here. No, it looks like he did see it, so he is getting back into that tower there. Might take out an archer if Abe isn't close enough, you know, isn't watching what he's doing properly. Over here though, for Abe, population is 50, for a wolf on 55, which, you know, he's been in Feudal Age longer, so that's generally a standard kind of thing. But if we do see a big boom out of Abe, it could really drastically change it. But by the looks of things, he's not going for it. He is going to be saving up for a castle by the looks of it. 145. Did he sell 100 stone, or does he have another town centre up somewhere that I haven't seen? Siege workshop going up on the front here. No, he must have sold 100 stone to get some gold or something. I don't know. Actually, no, the towers. That's it. Can't believe I forgot about the towers. There we go, lots of idle villagers here for a second. I wonder how long it's going to take him to get to them, actually. There we go, that wasn't too bad. But still, crossbows moving across here. Lots of archers still on the front line for Wolf right now. And Wolf's still having the score lead, which is an interesting one. Mangonel over here going to be able to do huge damage to these archers if he's not careful. Wolf hitting the Castle Age now, so we could go for some of those crossbows. Over on this side, though, a villager massacre is going down, and that's really going to hurt Wolf's economy there. Could stunt the growth of his archers there. Which would be exactly what Abe needs at the moment. And Over here, it looks like there's more crossbows coming in for some harassment. There we go, Wolf getting his crossbow upgrade. Hasn't yet got Bodkin though, which is probably one of the most required upgrades for archers, because of course adding that extra range makes them so much more effective. Plus that extra attack, it allows you to kill off pretty much anything a lot more effectively. Another house going up here. So, Abe playing quite well so far, but still, Wolf's still keeping that score lead out. There are 2 mangonels out on the field though, so if he gets a good hit on these crossbows, it could possibly be extremely bad. More units over here, just trying to spot anything different that could be going down. The stone wall looks like it's actually coming down on the other side of these palisades here. Mangonels, if he pushes with them and a few of these crossbows, could be really bad actually. Currently on 62 population, it looks like he's going for some... I'm trying to decide what he's doing here. It's not going to be a fast Imperial because he doesn't have enough gold to do it. He's not going for a castle because he doesn't have enough stone. So that's an interesting one actually. It looks like another town centre going down for Wolf, so he's going to be going for a bit of a boom here. So Abe could be in a bit of trouble if he doesn't do something quite quickly. And what he's going to do is going to be interesting. Looks like all he's really got he can do is mass some crossbows up and try and kill as much of his opponent's crossbows and villages as he can. So that's going to be an interesting one there to see what actually happens. Over here though, it looks like he is going to lose most of his crossbows. Did kill off 1, 2, only 2 villages and a crossbow by the looks of things. It doesn't look too bad. He only lost, what we'll assume, 2 of his own. Probably should have been paying better attention there. More scouting going down by these crossbows over here. And again, Abe doing quite well. He's actually taking the score lead now, which is really good. He is going for a town centre there actually. So town centre's just been extremely delayed by both players, which is kind of a good thing. If you're not going to put one up, you've got to hope that your opponent's been delayed as well. 3 town centre boom going down by Wolf by the looks of it, so it could be pretty big trouble actually for Abe if he doesn't match this, or get some harassment in there to match. And looks like he's coming out to gather a bit more stone, because of course that castle's really going to be helpful. And oh, that was really bad. That was actually horrible. And that's why when using large amounts of crossbows and mangonels, you really have to be careful with them, especially if there's a mangonel on the hill there, because they will get the attack bonus. The splash damage on these crossbows is really going to hurt. And now if it comes into a straight up fight, we can see Wolf just getting pitted quite quickly. Over here, crossbows, again, no ballistics, doesn't look like he has thumb ring either. I don't think he's even got a university up yet. No university. Over here though, this tower going to be able to prove quite damaging to these crossbows if it got garrisoned, but it didn't. Continuing to run across through here. This tower over here getting garrisoned though. Got some mangonels hanging out at the back here, so we could go for some kind of harass on this side. Could try and get the mangonels in here and defend them to try and take out that town centre, but I don't think it's really going to be an option at this stage. It's definitely taking the smart move and retreating, because his opponent is starting to really get a bit defensive here. There's not a lot he can do about it, so it's going to come up to what he decides to actually do here. Wolf, 60 population right now. Doesn't look like he's doing too much. Nothing really coming out of him. No big strategy that's going to win it at the moment. Abe on 76 population, so definitely starting to take the lead now. And only 100 points in it, so it's not exactly the biggest thing in the world. Right now we do see the university coming up. And I would go as far to say that Abe probably has... The economies would actually be really close right now, but Abe definitely has a military advantage if he doesn't lose these crossbows here. And he didn't lose any because it was uphill, but still, taking a lot of damage on them. And these mangonels, if he loses both of these here... Didn't lose any. Lucky it's uphill. And there we go, taking that one out there. Not too bad. Outpost over here, definitely a good idea when you're trying to lock down an area. It lets you know if anything's coming. These crossbows not going to be able to be engaging over here because of these mangonels. It's going to be able to really push them back, because there's nothing worse than having to engage mangonels, especially with the crossbow force. It hurts your soul when you do it. It's like trying to engage skirmishes, something that I always do that I really need to stop doing. But it hurts your soul when you do it, and you think, I can do this, and then it all kind of just dies, and you lose because you judged it too badly. I'm sure everybody's done it at one point. You judge something really badly, and you just feel your soul kind of darken a shade. But still, pushing in over here, the archery ranges. May as well try and get some kind of damage done. Another mangonel coming out, and these crossbows here are quite low on splash. good split, actually, only losing one crossbow there. Mangonel's actually getting repaired, which is kind of cool, but still moving in with his Mangonel, so try and get some more harass on these crossbows here, and he could lose quite a few if he's not careful, and... Oh, one Mangonel there for 2, definitely a good trade, but still lost one over here, so it's only kind of even. Abe going up to the Imperial Age right now on 73 pop, so it's going to be quite a decent time. Wolf nowhere near it right now, so this could be extremely bad for him. It can almost be GG if he gets a castle down and starts putting out a lot of damage. But still, another town centre out, so he's going to be able to keep booming off the back of this, actually. And it looks like that's what he plans on doing, but he's... Yep, more villagers over there. Looks like he's going for the barracks right now, so it looks like we're going to be seeing some kind of a big Eagle Warrior attack here. Going to see that posse come out, get the upgrade armors on them. Is he already on it? I can't tell if he's already got them or not. Does he have any infantry about I can have a look at? Any infantry? No. Is he producing any? No, he's not. Actually has a lot of gold available right now, and that's really going to help. Going for the market as well, might be buying some resources here. And this could just be the end of Wolf, actually, if he's not careful. He either needs to get a ton of harassment, wall off, or get like an amazing amount of crossbows and things to try and deal with these eagles. But, of course, once he gets up to the extra armor tech, we'll end up with 4 extra pierce armor, so 4 and 4, making it 8 pierce armor on those Eagle Warriors. Crossbows still aren't going to do a lot, so it's going to be kind of a hard thing to deal with here. He could even try and go for like 2-hand swords or something, but still, Eagles, they're just so hard to counter, actually. They're really a hard unit to counter. So the best thing he could probably do, actually, is just wall off this area and hope that nothing gets in. Even then, though, trebuchets could come out. We could see rams, things like that, trying to bludgeon their way in. And, of course, it could be interesting. And we actually saw the preemptive GG there from Abe. And is Wolf actually going to GG out here? Or is he thinking that Abe said GG? This is interesting. That could have been a little bit of a psychological play there. GG from Abe. So Wolf thinks he's resigning, especially with the scores. It was like 400 different. Then Wolf says GG, and then we see Abe go Imperial. This could be an interesting one. Elite Eagle Warrior going down. Scale Mail going down as well. Crossbows are moving out across the map right now, and this tower should be able to defend him for now. Might lose 2 villagers or so over here. Looks like this village is going to get killed off, though. Yes, there we go. And this is going to be an interesting one here. If he gets enough eagles out, it's definitely over. But still, if Wolf can wall off, is that what he's going for? Please tell me that's what you're doing. Yes, he is walling off. This is good. This is very good. Means he's probably going to survive another few minutes. Which is exactly what you need when your opponent goes Imperial, because it's really hard to match that when you're not expecting it. When you're expecting a big castle fight, you really start putting all your resources into that, getting these extra ranges and things up like that, siege workshops, all that nice kind of stuff, and then your opponent goes Imperial, and your reaction is, oh shit, and you have paladins or something streaming into your base, and hussars or something, and it's nearly over. But still, Wolf managing to go Imperial here, so he has managed to just do it. He is really low on all resources, so 85 population for him. Abe only on 78, but that's going to be increasing quite rapidly now, actually. He could be producing even more Eagle Warriors right now, but he's choosing not to, which is interesting. Chain Mail being researched now, and still the wall-off over here is going to require definitely some action from the siege workshop over here. Crossbows, again, trying to hold this area down, but I don't know how exactly well this is going to work. Could use a castle as well to get, of course, that mine elite tech to get them an extra 40 hit points, which is really, really helpful, actually, especially when raiding, because they just soak up so much extra damage. And it looks like over here, going to lose this Mangonel. And continuing to push out across the map here. If we speed things along, just to keep this Eagle Warrior push going on. And see where they're actually being rallied to. They are being rallied right into his base here, but I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot about it right now. Has he got that +4 armor? Is it on the way? No, but the +1 attack is, which is kind of helpful. Definitely would have rather the armor right now, but still, not a lot you can do about it. Stone wall getting put up here. It looks like these eagles might try and take on these crossbows here, but without that extra armor upgrade and extra hit points, could be hard considering there's so many crossbows here. But if he continues to reinforce with eagles, he might just be able to take this one. And especially the crossbows are definitely in a good position there. Yes, but the eagles taking them out quite easily now. Forging has been done. The second armor upgrade has been done, which is nice. And there we go. Wolf hitting the Imperial Age, collecting up all those relics now. And it looks like we're seeing a ram starting to come out, so he is going to start trying to push in. What are we seeing out from Wolf right now? We're seeing retaliation eagles. We are seeing eagle warriors put up right now to actually help defend. And this barracks here could be really well played if he decides to send the eagle warriors out, kill off the mangonel, then try and kill off the battering ram. Because, well, he could just generate a pretty good profit from that. Which again means there's going to be a lot of damage going on in this space, especially if he gets through this wall over here, which means they're going to be able to kill off a lot of villagers, and they can just absolutely rip apart town centers in large numbers as well. That's the same kind of deal with them. That mangonel sitting around here, definitely a nice position considering the eagles are going to be able to defend it a lot easier than if it's on the hill over here. And it looks like here comes the push from Abe right now, and it's going to be an interesting one. There's a lot of eagles out for Abe right now. Score difference is definitely in favor of Abe. And, ooh, that hurt. That amount of splash damage, that could make the game, actually. These eagles here might not be able to defend against this, especially now that Abe has that 4+ armor as well as the +1 attack on his guys. He's probably even going for the next one right now, so this could be really bad. And actually, luring these eagles here into the choke point, this has actually been extremely good play by Abe over here. Doing a great job getting a lot of damage onto these eagle warriors here, just to try and even, well, not even, but tip it heavily in his favor again. Wolf on 103 population, Abe on 136, so you can see the damage there. 3 battering rams actually in right now. And this town center could be as good as gone right now. Looks like the eagles are running in to try and do some damage over here, and they have taken out a mangonel. Looks like the rams are just going to get through there, because those eagles will be in there in time. And here we go, the posses of eagle warriors are engaging over here and chasing them right out of there, actually. Could run back right now and try and take out this town center, but it looks like the rams are going to be able to do that anyway. I don't think those eagles are going to be able to clean up those rams in time. Nope, losing one town center there. The eagles all fighting over here. Looks like we are still seeing eagles just stream across the base right now out of all of these barracks, which only one is producing. Blast furnace on the way as well, so he's nearly got these fully upgraded eagles he's going to be able to use. Only thing he doesn't really have going for him right now is the extra hit points. And there's the GG from Wolf. It is all over, guys. I thought that was an interesting game. Double boar steal into mass eagles, essentially. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll see you in the next one.